My worst point against the rigs is the wages, which must be everybody's moan. They reckon I was told by a tool pusher that the British government won't allow him to pay too high a wage. Well, to me, this is absolute rubbish. We work 14 days on at 12 hours, 1 week off. Well, they can pay us for a week off, the same as they do in Norway. They can pay us for a certain amount or a standard rate for the week we're off. That could get around us not paying too much, I think.
An Aberdonian working in the oil rigs now will work a 168-hour fortnight. This is a 12-hour working day for 14 days. In effect, he's working the same amount of time as he would normally work in a month in a shore job, and for that he'll take home around about £90 for his fortnight. He then has a week ashore in which he's no pay at all. So it doesn't take a mathematician to calculate that his average wages are about £30 a week. And this is for working in extremely cold, dangerous conditions in the North Sea. Added to that, you find that some of the rigs, the conditions on board them, the living conditions, aren't quite up to the kind of standards that one would expect. We're also concerned about safety conditions on these rigs. Not only on the rigs, but on the servicing to the rigs. The method of getting from a supply vessel onto a rig, for instance, leaves an awful lot to be desired. Quite a number of the charter companies have in their conditions the fact that a person can have his employment terminated as soon as he's sick or indeed has an accident. And the number of accidents out there, of course, are extremely high.
But they take down the derrick, 270 feet up there. Yeah, we're not that high, no? No fancy, no? Well, yeah, 270 feet off sea level. And that was us taking that derrick down. We done it in 2 weeks.
Unfortunately, we find that some of the American companies, and it's Americans particularly I must speak of because unfortunately they seem to be the worst offenders in this field, the kind of conditions that they offer our people, on the oil rigs particularly, the roustabout type labour that they're offering, they pay very low wages. The conditions of employment leave much to be desired.
We got aboard this rig anyway, me and mate. I was nearly seemed to be interested in this, you know. And then we got to the chief steward. He was a guy with the fights on. And we asked him. And he told us to go and see a stool pusher. A stool pusher's a boss. And when we got there, he wasn't really interested either. As far as he was concerned, we was rubbish. We was just another number that come off the helicopter. Anyway, my mate asked him, is there any chance of a bank? Where do we get our heat down? He turned around and he says to my mate, as far as I'm concerned, you can sleep on the deck.
The whole attitude of the Americans to the people up here is pretty poor. In my opinion, they're treated as it's been printed in the papers as white slaves or white niggers or whatever you like to call them.
I can say that, let's put it this way, this is probably the best, best salary that they've ever had, really.
The money is no good. If I came ashore as a roughneck, I would maybe come ashore as a married man with 4 children, £110. That has to last me 3 weeks. No, on an average, £110 wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out at the money I'm getting now ashore building as a builder's labourer. I'm at home in my own bed at night. I know my bed's clean, and I know my grub's there, and it's going to be there when I come in.
Top man on the rigs was the head tool pusher. After that came assistant tool pusher, was a Yank, American. Even the craneman was a Yank. Derrickman, assistant derrickman, all the Yanks. Well, for the likes of us, we got all the scab jobs.
They treat you like animals. And I would tell any Scotsman, any trawlerman, never to go aboard a rig on the conditions that you've got to live in.
I joined this rig in about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you know. Turned 2 to work about 12:30. Worked till 8:30 that night. And I had an accident in the draft though, you know, which I broke my wrist. Asked for medical treatment and I got strapped up with 2 magazines.
Funny, really, his arm was wrapped with 2 copies of an American magazine. Well, it was 2 American magazines, actually, Time and Newsweek, and strapped with sticky tape. And he was given 2 pills. That was to last him for 3 days until such time as he, you know, got ashore and got proper medical attention, the arm was set. This is the kind of conditions that we're fighting against, and I think the rest of the country should pay attention to these.
In that time I had, well, 2 magazines, 1 morphine tablet, and a sling. I was in Plaza from 16th April until the 4th of June, with no money, apart from 4 days rig allowance and 8 hours actual working time, you know, 8 hours pay. That's what they treated me like, you know.
The work was hard, very hard way, aye. And I would say the safety regulations is nil.
The words union in the North Sea is taboo as far as Americans are concerned. They'll actually turn around and say, we'll lift this rig out of the North Sea and leave. Go somewhere else where there's no union.
This is like any place you go in the world. Okay, do you want us, does UK want to, do they want their people to learn to be able to do the job, or do they want to depend on us to fly the people in here and do the job for them?